What is up, obscure mic people? It's Bart coming back at you with another microphone. No, it's not a microphone review. It's an inline preamp review from Vee LAZY. I believe I'm pronouncing Vee LAZY right, but it's a startup company that's going to make high quality audio accessories, and I'm here for it because this one is a pretty cool one. It's the Mica inline mic preamp. It is hooked up as we speak right now to the SM7B. It is all black and it provides 30 decibels of gain. You can grab it from veeleiZ's website on veeleiZ.com. Link in description. I believe they told me it's going to run about $80. And for the sake of knowing how good this is driving the SM7B, it is running through my M367 Shure mixer and then into the Wave XLR from Elgato. It's kind of my current setup, my preferred setup. And normally this has to be on almost a 7 on the gain dial. The M367 has gain for days, so I don't worry. I don't need a preamp, but not everyone has a sweet-ass vintage device that can power the world. Sometimes you've got a cheaper device like a Zoom U22 and you need some preamp. So for the sake of knowing when this is normally cranked to almost a 7, right now I've got it cranked under a 2. So barely using any gain, barely using any power. The preamp's doing its job well. This is the sound of the microphone. The SM7B almost to a 7, just a notch under 7 on my M367 mixer. And this is what it sounds like without the inline preamp. So we'll at least know if there's any tonality changes once I switch back over to the Mica preamp. And if you're looking for something that is extremely discreet and provides a lot of gain, I think we've found a pretty good candidate to throw out there in the inline preamp market, which again is kind of crowded. But I will say one thing that I like about this preamp from the get-go is, let's roll some B-roll. As you can see, everything comes in this nice cardboard box from Vee LAZY. You get some documentation, and when you take that off, you get a cat. But underneath all that, you get the mic booster. Black, slim, sleek. Really digging it. Nice looking mic booster. You also get a cat. A pretty cat. Hello, pretty cat. Meow. And in taking a closer look at the preamp, you can see that it's made from Neutrik XLR connections. Good weight. Nothing heavy, nothing too light. Just a really solid little preamp. And as you can see here, you can actually plug the preamp directly into most XLR ports on an interface because it is literally the same material as an XLR cable. It's not overly big. As I was saying, after seeing the pre-roll, I'm sure you figured out what it is that I like about this preamp. Or have you? I don't know. Well, here it is. My favorite preamps are the most discreet preamps. The smaller, the better. So, the SE Dynamite has kind of my favorite form factor because it is just a straight inline preamp, no bulges, no girth, no, none of that. But that shit is red, super red. I like black and gray. I'm a dark personality. I'm a dark guy. This thing right here, very discreet, very small, no bulging, no expansion. It's just a straight inline preamp. As I showed you, it'll fit right in the XLR port of an interface. I value that. It's along the lines of like an inline mute switch. And the fact that it's all black is even better. And it has a Neutrik connection. It's just, you can tell it's quality. The preamp sounds good. 30 decibels of gain. The price is fair, especially if you want discreet. Discreet is becoming the name of the game in the preamp market. As much as the boxed ones like the Clark Technic CT1 and the new Milano preamp, as much as those do the job and do it at a fair price, the Clark Technics are going up in price, by the way, except for at Sweetwater. They are a clunky box. I don't want a clunky box. I love the mic lifter cable that I recently reviewed, or not so recently, but at the same time, it's hard to, depending on how you've got your setup, it is hard to undo cables. And like, I wanted to wire that cable on my boom arm, but then I am relegated to not using condensers on my boom arm unless I take the cable completely out of the boom arm. So to have something that's easily switchable cannot be understated. So if you're going to have something that's easily switchable, why not have it be super discreet, easy to swap out, and does the job? The veeleiZ, even though the price isn't coming in at some of the newer competitive price points of stuff like the Clark Technics of the world, those are hard to get, and the CT1 is still a little bulky. It's short, it's fine, but they sell out. They're hard to find. So if you're kind of in the market for one and you want Discreet and you're okay with paying $80, which I think is pretty fair for something like this high quality, this good looking, this discreet, this is up there with one of the better preamps that I've tested in a long time. I love the mic lifter cable. Great concept. If you're a two boom arm person guy like I tend to be sometimes, there's definitely a way to use that and to keep it in use. But if you need switchability, this new veeleiZ Mica preamp is it's pretty dang cool, to be honest with you. Sometimes aesthetically I'm shallow as heck when it comes to gear and tech, and the fact that this is black and discreet and as thin as just a regular XLR port or like an inline mute switch like this HOSA, just thin, easy, simple, but also black, hideable. SM7B, this is kind of perfect for an SM7B setup. It just does not give you any kind of flash. It's just there. No one's going to know it's there. I like that. The Mica from veeleiZ, I'll send the link in the description. I'm not going to send it. I'll post it in the description. That way you can go check it out and keep an eye on them for upcoming releases. I know inline preamps aren't exactly a detailed, long, descriptive video, but we got to know about some of these products, and anytime there's a new one in the market, we got to do it. This one, straight out of the EU, so if you live in the EU, you probably got good access to these. Thanks to them for sending it over. Don't keep inline preamps very often because I don't use them very often because I tend to handle gear that will power stuff like the SM7B, but at the same time, the lower you can get the noise floor, the better. I think this is a keeper for me. This one's sticking around for future reviews, for future use cases. I really like the all black barrel design. Shallow me, shallow bark, whatever, it's fine. The veeleiZ Mica is out of here. Bark's out of here. The SM7B's out of here. See you guys later. Peace out.